You guys seem to really enjoy the Cahooks tier list, so I feel like it's only right we do another one. I asked for some suggestions, we didn't have many, but someone said day one, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So this is the day one tier list. Now, day one has more music than Cahooks does overall, so we are going with the singles only. That does not include feature verses for other artists, but it can include songs that involves other features or that it was a mutual track. And this doesn't include every track off of his Day Uno EP, just the ones that were lead singles that had music videos or lyric videos or were released as a single. So with that in mind, yeah, let's go. We start in chronological order with Boss. B-O-S-S-D brings. It's an okay song. It's kind of generic. It's an okay hook that I can just about remember, but I don't think there's anything special. I feel like Day One has come a very long way since he started, and despite it being like memorable for a lot of people and maybe even iconic if you're a big Day One fan, I don't think it's his best song, but it's not the worst thing he's ever done either, and I suppose it does hold some weight being his debut release. I'll put it as a C tier. One time featuring Davey. Yeah, I don't like this. This is a bad track. It's flat. It's not got a great deal of just class. Like it's not a great song, to be honest with you. It feels like something you'd get out of a UK starter pack. I'm not the biggest fan of it whatsoever. D tier. That's a pretty rough start for day one, and I'm going to sound pretty brutal in this, and that's because I know what he can bring to the table. On a little bit of a lighter note, we've got Riding. Riding is a good song. I quite like Riding. I think I've definitely fluctuated in my opinion over time. Where I'm sitting at today, there, it's a good track. It has way more character than the other two tracks that we talked about. I feel like he has a richer delivery. I feel like Day One definitely stepped up his game, and I'd say this is by far the best single we put out 3 tracks in. I'm going to put it in the B tier. We got another feature from Davey on this track. This is Wavy. Wavy, Davey, and you know what? It's all gravy. See what I did there? Yeah, just a way better song than One Time. Better production, a better hook, better delivery from both artists. Like, yeah, they stepped up their game compared to their previous collaboration, and I would say it is far better than One Time. Does that mean it's Day One's greatest song? No, I still say it could be better. But I don't hate it in any way, shape, or form, and I'd also put it in the B tier. The next single is cancelled. Yeah, this track should have been cancelled. It's not good. Imagine if like Tiger, Kid Ink, and like DJ Snake had a child. They fostered it, then adopted it, and then neglected it. Yeah, I'm putting this in the trash. Next track we got is Shisha Chick. I believe this was Day One's one of his bigger tracks at the time. It's an all right track. The hook's okay. The verses are definitely weak. It's definitely on that chorus, keeping it in there. I wouldn't say it has enough moments though. There's a couple here or there, but it just lacks that kind of thing that separates it from being a generic track. What is there though isn't terrible. I'd put it in the C tier. It's an okay track. King of My City. I quite like this track, and I don't think I did at the time. I think this track has grown on me. It has a really nice bounce, very catchy hook, and decent storytelling. It's like reasonably focused for Day One as well. Yeah, I don't mind this track. I'm going to put it in the B tier. Next track is Energy. Energy is by far my favorite Day One track. It has character, it has style, it has source. It's complemented by an amazing video. An amazing video. Um, yeah, it's storytelling, it's heartfelt, it's personal, it's one of them emotional bangers that you want to scream from the top of your lungs. Like, I really mess with Energy. I believe I put it in my top 10 back in 2020, maybe even 2021 if that's when it was released. But yeah, I really enjoy this track. I'm putting it in the S tier. Ooh, I feel energy, feel you right next to me. Next track we got is Hoodstar. I definitely like this more when it come out, and I don't love it now. I don't hate it either. I feel like Hefs did an okay job, and I feel like Hefs carries more of this track than Day One does. The electric guitar sample's cool, but again, I don't love it in a lot of ways. It's all right. I feel like it just lacks moments, and again fits into that generic kind of mold for me. I feel like this was a link up for the sake of linking up, and I don't feel like they put their creative minds really into this. Outside of, oh, we've got an electric guitar, so we sound like a rock star. But you know what? I'm from the hood, so now I'm a hood star. Hood star, so quick now. I don't love it, and I sound super harsh. It's not terrible, but yeah, I'm gonna put it in the D tier. However, on Magic, this is far better, far better. And again, another amazing music video to pair it. Magic just has so much more going for it. It's just way better of a collab. The hook is killer. The production on it is amazing, especially that build up with the string section building up to the last hook. Yeah, it has more moments. I know I keep talking about that, but that's a theme with Day One, I'd say. When Day One focuses on bringing moments to the track, focuses on not just kind of cruising along, it holds so much more weight. And this is a great example of where they do that. I'm putting this in the A tier. Oh, technical difficulties. For some reason, I didn't have the right image in there for Magic, but we're all in place now. We move on to the next one, Limit. Limit is a really heartfelt track, and it has really strong verses from Day One. I actually quite enjoy this. Some really nice melodies. Like, yeah, it's just a song I enjoy. I'm also going to put it in the B tier. Again, is a track that I didn't really pay too much attention to at first, but it's really grown on me. This deep house kind of style track where Day One doesn't do too much nor too little. And it's just a really minimal track overall that just has amazing production. I actually really like it. And again, it's massively grown on me. I'm actually going to put it A tier with that. Next is Mbappe. I've talked about this loads in the Cahooks one. I've talked about this loads already. I'm just going to keep it short with this one. Day One and Cahooks, absolutely smash it. Great dynamic between the two. One of the catchiest hooks of 2022. Just an amazing job overall. Really unique sounding track. And I absolutely love it. And you know what? I've written in my notes that I want it A tier. But I think in the context of Day One's catalogue, I'm going to put it S tier. The remix. And we're going to move on to the next track, Dubai. It's nothing special. It not terrible either. Like from a foundation standpoint, there's nothing particularly wrong with it, but there's also nothing that takes me to go back and listen to this track again. It's an okay track. It lacks moments. I keep on saying this, but yeah, C tier, C tier. Then we move on to Me, Myself, and I, and I'm putting this in the D tier because it stands for Drake. But imagine Drake if no, I'm not gonna do that. I just feel like it could be more original. It's obviously a play on pre-existing songs. There's an auto-tune part in the middle that's really bad, in my opinion. It's not the worst thing he's done, but he's by far done way more original and more unique and just better music, full stop. I'm putting it in it. Put in the I'm gonna wordish and then I'm gonna put this in the D tier. Oh, and then I've just realized that this is technically a feature, but we're here now anyway. Just keep it organic. DSP featuring Day One come up. It's a nice track, great dynamic between the two, lots of energy. As a hot take without listening to it right now, I'm going to throw it in the C tier. And so we end up with a slightly botched list that I need to figure out how consistent these visuals are going to be. But yeah, Day One has a decent catalog. And I feel like the biggest issue he has is when he makes these songs that feel like they appeal to the masses for the sake of appealing to it. I feel like when Day One makes songs that are made to try and be popular, they actually don't end up doing so. Now, maybe he does Mbappe, maybe he does Magic, maybe he does Energy with that in mind, and maybe he then is just one of them artists that can hit and miss. Day1 is not that kind of artist that can always hit and never miss. No, Day1 definitely has misses in his catalog. He also has plenty of songs that are just okay and serviceable. But I really do feel like when he puts his mind to it and really tries to branch out of that box, I feel like he makes some of his best stuff. If we look at what's in that A and S tier, all of those tracks sound different from each other. When you look down in the C and D tier, they start looking a lot more similar to each other. And I'd say that's a great way to categorize what I personally like from Day1 versus what I don't like. Again, C tier is, by the way, not something that I dislike. I just think it's okay and I don't love it. I feel like I now want to come up into B because I actually like that. I wouldn't put that with the rest. But yeah, that's not even meant to be there anyway. So that's fraudulent behavior regardless. But yeah, hopefully I get my point across. Nothing but love for Day1. I think he's got a lot of potential going forward. A very versatile artist that can work with many different other artists himself. And yeah, this has been the Day1 tier list. Let me know who you want me to cover next. Ooh, I feel your energy. Feel you right next to me. Remember the memory making sure that you remember me. You. Ah man, someone give me the auto tune, man. Give me the pitch corrector. Watch, I'll start doing a madness round here.